So hey guys, a few videos ago I did a video on our FOSA, or our transpiration septic system, which is what we use for our black water or for our solid waste coming out of the toilet. And then it occurred to me that I didn't really mention what we did with our gray water. Right now we have our gray water running into two different locations. We use our kitchen sink on a location by itself, and it actually goes to a mango tree through, of course, a fat trap. The tub, the shower, and the bathroom sink go to, I've got it split between a coconut palm tree and then a group of pomegranate pitanga and some water plants. And when we first started, we did things a little bit differently. And we had a dry toilet that we were using for our solid waste. But on the inside of the house, we had a toilet that would separate the liquids from the solids. So we had the urine mixed with the shower and the bathroom sink water, as well as the tub, which the tub we don't use much anyway. We're going to two filters. These filters are 500 liters each. Rock on the bottom, sand on the top. The water would come in the bottom and then go out the top. That system failed for us because we neglected to put a barrier between the sand and the rock, as well as we were using rock from our location here, which some of it turned out to be hard dirt, not really rock, so obviously it just collapsed in the water. The whole system kind of failed because the sand mixed with the rock and just filled up the pipe, and it was done. So we did things a little bit differently. Also, in the meantime, we elected to install a normal toilet in the house. The dry toilet was kind of an inconvenience, having to go outside of the house. Some of the folk that visited, I actually scared them, I think. It still works. There's some issues with it, and I'll do a video on the whole dry toilet thing in a separate video. But I wanted to talk to you about our gray water and how we're dealing with it. So the water leaves the kitchen sink, and for our fortune goes downhill. Since we live on a hill, everything is gravity. We don't have to worry about it. And it basically lets out, it goes through the fat trap and lets out at the foot of a mango tree. We don't have to worry about the smells. Number one, the prevailing winds take it away from the house. Number two, like I said, it's on a slope, so water doesn't sit here. Number three, we're in a semi-arid climate where, again, water just doesn't sit here. So we don't have any standing water issues. We also don't have any regulations to speak of. We're on an isolated piece of land where there are no regulations. But being a general contractor or a builder myself in the United States, I understand the regulations and trying to operate responsibly. So we don't have any perk issues in the ground for where we are. The other side of the house, again, the tub, shower, and bathroom sink. I have a hard time with that one. They go down and are in one pipe. They all go together out of the house in one pipe. And then I just use a simple valve to kind of direct, let's say, half of the water to the coconut tree, which is just a little bit uphill from the pomegranate and the pitanga and the other water plants. But definitely something, to consider when you're putting the system together, how do you want to deal with your black water versus gray water and whatnot. If I were in a different climate, say Florida, where it's flat, humid, and it rains a lot, I would have to treat this differently. And what I probably would do there would be go back to our filter system, where it goes through the rock and sand filters, this time putting a barrier in between the sand, having it go through 2 filters, and then into a pond, which is what we had here also. We had a pond at the end of that system, but again, it completely failed. We still do have the pond that we manually fill up with water from time to time. We leave that for the birds and the frogs that live around. One day, we'll have a recirculating pump that keeps that clean and just more pleasant for the creatures. Right now, it's kind of turns into a cesspool sometimes during the sunny months. When I say cesspool, it just turns into a primordial soup of algae. So anyway, hopefully that added some information to my transpiration septic system, and we'll see you soon.